Hello, my name is Anita Ives, and I'm represented by Model and Talent Management. My husband and I met in college. Oh yes, we met in college. We were just in our 20s. After we got married, maybe a year later, he decided to join the Army. Together, we made the decision, and his first duty station was in Germany. I was elated. Packed up, we went to Germany. We lived in Germany 9 years. We had the best time. In Germany, we experienced the military life on base, and we explored all of Europe, and it was really great. At the end of his tour of duty, he did 2 tours for me. At the end of the ninth year, it was time to come back to the States. I didn't want to come back to the States for several reasons, but he was commissioned to be a recruiter, and I knew as a recruiter he'd be with civilians, and I thought, oh my gosh, because you see, I was my husband's first love. He never knew a woman outside of me, and we had a special bond together. So we go back to Chicago. He recruited for the Army, and within a year, all the guys that he worked with were having affairs. He never had an affair. Again, I was the only woman he ever had, and curiosity set in. So long and short, I went back to school. I was in graduate school. We was raising our kids, our boys. They were like 7 and 5. I was at home in graduate school doing my homework, and the boys are doing their homework. I get a phone call. I get a phone call from a woman that says, I need to let you know something's going on with me and your husband. And I thought, my goodness, who is this and what is going on? Mind you, I'm in graduate school for psychology, so I reversed it. And I became her friend. I made her feel like I was her friend. We talked on the phone about an hour. She was telling me all the activities that my husband was doing behind my back. When I thought he was recruiting for the Army, he was spending time with her, going to museums and stores and beach and shopping. And I'm in school, the boys in school. I'm thinking he's with the military again, recruiting. I befriended her so much over the phone for an hour, she actually told me where she lived. Not where she lived, where she worked. So I asked her, can I come and visit her? It was maybe 10:30 at night. I told my boys, finish up, go into bed. I took my jewelry off, I put my black on, I got the address, and I went to her job. She was a cashier at a gas station, and she was there all alone. So I was very professional, and I befriended her. I came in, I called her honey. I said, sweetie, and I said, tell me more, what's going on? She had a little book, all kind of pictures of her and my husband, in activities. My mind was blown, but I was in my psychological psychiatrist mindset, thinking I need more data, see what's going on. She and I talked for about maybe 30 minutes. She showed me her pictures, and I was thinking, what I'm going to do with that? Then all of a sudden, she says, I really loved him. And I thought, okay, let's make a pact. When he comes and pick you up, she told me earlier he was picking her up at work to drive her home. And when he comes and pick you up, let me hide in the back, in the closet behind the register. And I keep the door open just a little bit. And if you can get my husband to tell you I love you, I will walk away from the marriage. I will pack up the house, pack up the children, and I told her, you can have him. And honestly, deep in my mind, I'm thinking, if he gonna actually tell this woman, I love you, then our marriage is over. Long and short, I'm in the back of the closet. It's open this much. I see his truck coming down the street. I said, oh my gosh, it's happening. Still staying calm. I'm in my mode. I got my data. I saw the pictures. My boys at home safe and clean. I'm in Chicago, that's my hometown. I'm from the streets, but I'm not gonna fight. I'm gonna keep it calm. I'm hiding in the closet, I'm keeping it open. My husband gets out of his truck in his full uniform, kind of sweating, said, come on, I gotta go. Close up, turn the lights off. Come on, I gotta take you home, I gotta get home. I'm hearing him saying this like in a big rush. All along, she's saying, come on, don't you love me? Give me a kiss. And she's trying to hug on him. Get this, they're about 12 inches from the door from my face. I'm actually sitting there watching my husband trying to push her away, but calm her at the same time, and she's throwing herself all over him. Don't you love me? Don't you love me? And he never said it. After about maybe 60 seconds, I was the Hulk. I took the door and I opened the door like this and I slammed up my arms like that and I looked at him. I took my fist and I punched him in the face. He turned and looked at me. His eyes got this big. He could not believe his wife of 14 years was standing in the gas station behind his girlfriend of 4 months and trying to say, I love you or I don't love you. He never told her, I love you. So with that said, I pushed him to the side. He was stuck. He could not move. He was in shock. His big, beautiful truck that he loved, I don't know how I picked up this 30-pound boulder. It was a 30-pound boulder. I picked it up over my head and I launched it at his truck. It did not break the window. I get in my car and go home. I just started crying. I just couldn't believe what was going on. I go home and the kids are asleep and I'm sitting there and I prepare and I go to bed all the time, wait for him to come home so we can talk. He never did. In fact, 3 days went past. His best friend picked me up and brought me to the hotel where he and this girl were spending the night. He was afraid. We went to marriage counseling because my oldest boy was finishing high school and the youngest boy was going into middle school. So we went to marriage counseling and we said, we're going to finish raising these boys because I didn't want to raise them as a single mom by myself. So we went to marriage counseling and we stayed for like 4 years until they were finished for high school. One joined the Army and the other one joined the Air Force. And the boys helped pack up the house and I was in my apartment and finished graduate school. I had a great job making over $50,000 at the time. And we're talking about this was 1989. And life for me has been beautiful. So long and short, the boys are in their 40s. My ex-husband and I were good friends. He remarried and divorced, but he still apologizes to me for that day. And I'm really proud of myself because 1, I didn't fight in that gas station. 2, we went to marriage counseling and had a contract. So we split up the house and we ran it like a business. We raised the kids like a business. We shared the bills. There was no arguing, anything like that. But it was no love. It was no love. It was just business. And to this day, he and I talk on the phone, but it's just business and it's just friendship. It's just no love. So he remarried and divorced. I remarried, but unfortunately my husband just passed away. But life is pretty good, and I'm proud of myself. So that was a great love that started in college when he was a virgin and I was his new wife, and we had a great time. But he made a bad decision. So that's a relationship that went wrong for me. Again, my name is Anita Ives. I represent Model and Talent Management. Thank you.